Stephen Curry is one of the greatest NBA players to ever play the game. The point guard is well known for his knack of shooting three-pointers and his impressive playing style. But to say that he pissed off a lot of players along the way would be an understatement. But hey, it's all part of the game, right? Stay tuned as we count down the NBA players who hate Curry and see all the reasons why. Starting off with Jaylen Brown. The 2022 NBA Finals were nothing short of spectacular, but there might be one thing we overlooked in the subplot. Jaylen Brown's first interaction with Stephen Curry. Celtics star Jaylen Brown was a rookie when he played his first game in Golden State on March 8, 2017 against Stephen Curry's Warriors. On the last possession of the third quarter, Brown was supposed to stop Curry from shooting, and Curry just did that.
A good push. Curry with the fake on Jaylen Brown, drills it!
But that's not why Brown dislikes the Warriors' point guard. The reason for his hatred is what happened next. Curry not only tricked Brown out of his shoes to make a three-pointer at the buzzer, but he also taunted the 20-year-old as he walked to Boston's bench by pointing at him and making the stop talking sign.
He got the rookie up in the air.
That's some first impression. It's been 4 years now since that play, but Celtics legend and the Sports Hub analyst Cedric Maxwell believes that Curry's taunt might still be what motivates Brown. Next up, we've LeBron James. The Western Conference has had many great historic rivalries, and we might be witnessing one right now. We're talking about LeBron James and Stephen Curry, who deserve the crown. In almost all rivalries, the players share a love-hate relationship, but in their case, the spectrum is more toward hate. When evaluating the superstars last year, Bill Simmons of The Ringer and NBA columnist Jackie McMullen talked about the rumor that James dislikes Curry. He claimed that Steph may be the most lovable player in the NBA. No one gets mad at Steph. No one dislikes Steph except for one person, LeBron. Even though Curry and James have never said anything bad about each other in public, Simmons tried to explain how people see it. He said that you have to read between the lines, and there's no doubt that they're cold. The way LeBron gets fired up against the Warriors is an indicator that, even though he respects Curry as a player, he can't stand him or lose to him.
James, long three-pointer. Now he ties the game!
Moving on, James Harden. In every competition, there are always heartbreaks involved. That's exactly what happened to James Harden. The 2014-15 season was one to remember for the beard. The way he played, it was like he was on a mission to be the MVP, no matter what it took.
Pass Harden at the buzzer, counts if it goes, and it goes! James Harden!
And for the most part, it seemed like it might just happen. But then Curry happened and took the MVP trophy home with him. It was a very tough blow for the Beard, who later expressed his anger. He made the argument that he led the league in total points scored and minutes played. Harden also expressed his belief that he deserved the MVP more than Steph Curry. The Beard did get over the loss. He told reporters following Houston's Western Conference semifinals Game 1 that it's tough, but he's got bigger things to worry about. But even so, Harden didn't congratulate Curry for winning the MVP. Next is Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is an exceptionally talented player who, like Curry, can light up the scoreboard from anywhere on the court. So it's not surprising that people keep comparing him to Stephen Curry.
Look at this. Look at this shot here. Shot clock running down from the A in Moda.
Just remember not to make that comparison in front of Lillard himself. Chances are he won't take that kindly. The comparison in itself is bad, considering you're putting a great player doing his own thing under the shadow of another player, which indirectly also narrows the view of the best in the NBA. Dame wants to be his own player like everybody else who steps on the court. So when in 2016 his performance was compared to Steph's, he quickly shut the comparison down. We agree with Dame here. Both are individuals of great talent who play the game in their own way. Now, let's discuss the reasons why players dislike him. Steph Curry was drafted by the Golden State Warriors in the 7th round of the 2009 draft. His rookie years were tough, being the son of the great shooter, Del Curry. Steph did not have a hard life, but what most people don't know is that since college, he has worked very hard to prove his worth. In just 9 years in the NBA, Stephen Curry has become the 3rd or 4th most famous player in the league.
Waits for Draymond, flipped it to him, Curry goes backdoor, takes the pass, takes the jumper, 3-ball! Stephen Curry!
As a 3-time NBA champion and the first player to win the MVP award unanimously, he also holds several shooting and scoring records. With all that, why do the players dislike him? We've got 3 reasons for that. Starting off with his flourishing childhood. Steph Curry was born in Akron, Ohio, like most of the other big names in the NBA, such as LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and Dwayne Wade, to name a few. Curry spent most of his childhood in Charlotte, where his father, Del Curry, played for the Charlotte Hornets. Now, it's not like all of the players hate Steph Curry. Some of them are even very good good friends with him. But some players, like all people, get that feeling of jealousy. Most of the other players from Akron didn't have much more than basic food and a little fun when they were young, and they had to train with nothing but grit and determination. Steph, on the other hand, had the chance to not only get top-notch training and advice from his father and other coaches, but also to do things like shoot with his father's team before games. Most well-known sports stories are about people who had to work hard to get where they are now, like Messi or Ronaldo in soccer, Sachin or Mullinaran in cricket, or even LeBron and Bird in basketball. And according to many, Curry doesn't fit the bill. But a note about Steph Curry: he didn't have much hope when he joined the league, even though he had a lot of help in training. Still, he worked hard and had the courage to get to the point where he was twice named MVP and won 3 NBA titles. Steph Curry clearly worked hard like everyone else, but that doesn't stop people from thinking otherwise. Next up, his always gloating, never defending play. Steph Curry became famous for his great shooting skills, not just because he could shoot from far away, but also because he could shoot while dribbling with a big man on top of him. Through the years, during the rise of Golden State up until the 2013-14 season, Steph was just a good player. However, with time, his skills finally reached their peak, and he got the nickname Baby-Faced Assassin. That nickname suits him the best by far. He literally has a baby face after all. But the nickname isn't completely based on how he looks, but also on how he celebrates making a shot. Now that can make the defender dislike him because he just got scored on from 32 feet away. Players and analysts also know very well that Steph is not the best defender and is sometimes a liability when defending the top. So the opposing team's best guard, such as Harden, Kyrie, or Lillard, can't mess with Steph Curry. We haven't seen Harden do the mixing celebration or the ankle break and pause against Steph, and given how the Warriors play Steph, we might never see it. That means that Steph has all the chances to make his defenders look silly by making 30-footers or fancy layups. But when it's their turn to return the favor, they get Klay Thompson instead. That's a very clever play by the Warriors, but it leaves the opponents with not the best feelings about Curry. Moving on, how the tiny man eradicated big men. This is by far the biggest impact Steph Curry and the Splash Brothers had on basketball. The way Steph Curry and Klay Thompson changed the game wasn't just a matter of analysis, and the 3 is greater than 2 argument is not the reason why the Golden State Warriors backcourt is so good. Since the 1980s, players have been making 3-pointers, and some of the best have been all big men. But now, big men aren't as important in basketball as they used to be, because Steph, Klay, and the GSW coaching staff use their range to their advantage. When the 2 came up, they would use a screen to get a pass from near the halfway line. Since the 4 and 5 positions aren't set up to defend that far out, they kept making 3s.
It's insanity. It's wild. Eric Gordon's there.
Also, the analytics and coaches saw this as a mathematical phenomenon and started forcing their centers to leave the post and spread the floor to become a threat from beyond the arc. So, the big men who play the 4 or 5 positions and aren't good shooters hate it when Steph shoots at them from 30 feet or even more. Players like Dwight Howard, Nerlens Noel, and Jahlil Okafor, who were drafted highly in the past decade's draft class, have become inefficient as they fail to make shots from beyond the arc. As a result, in the modern NBA, players who were once highly valued for their ability to defend the post and prevent layups by clogging the lane have become liabilities. That's a wrap for this video. Did you enjoy this video? What are your thoughts on Curry? Do you love him or hate him? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.